Are you thinking about starting your own podcast? Don't know where to start? Well, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to start a podcast. Let me tell you about it. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And best of all, it's free. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Just download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, Candid Mamas, and welcome. You're listening to the Candid Motherhood Podcast with Roxy
and Jackie,
where we tell you all about the ins and outs of motherhood.
We share our own life experiences to prepare you for the good, the bad, and the ugly that comes along with parenting.
So grab your coffee,
sit down,
get comfy,
and enjoy today's episode. So welcome back, Candid Mamas, to another Tell All Tuesday episode. So this episode is going to be all about time management. So what is time management? So the definition of time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between specific activities. Good time management enables you to work smarter, not harder, so that you can get more done in less time, even when time is tight and pressures are high. We're going to share some tips and tricks and what we do to manage the time in our 24-hour span of a day that we have. So Roxy, do you have any advice or any tips that you want to share on how to be better with your time when it comes to parenting?
I do. So you want to try to be productive with the time that you do have, because us moms, even us stay-at-home moms, the days go by really quickly, and it always feels like there's never enough hours in the day to get anything done. And just doing simple tasks, you don't realize how long they actually take to do. So just doing even like chores around the house or cooking. Sometimes cooking can take 30 minutes to prep the food and then like another 30 to cook it, depending on what you're making. And you don't realize damn, an hour just went by. So I feel like prioritizing your time, number one, would probably be my number one way to set a good time management. What I like to do is the day before, I'll just write down on a piece of paper. I'm a list person. So I'll make my list of the big tasks to be done for the day. And then I try to check them off during the day in I guess in a what needs to get done first type of thing. And I try to gauge more or less how long each task will take. And I will try to stick to that. So if I allot myself 20 minutes to do laundry, then when that 20 minutes is up, whatever laundry didn't get done or whatever, I'll just save it for the nighttime and hopefully, I'll get it done later. But that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Prioritizing time.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think you also need to be organized in order to have good time management skills. I always say, I always go back to retail because, working in retail, it's all about time management. You only have a certain amount of hours in the day to get things done. And I was always under time pressure when I was at work. But now that I'm home, Monday through Friday, I'm home at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I go back to work at 9 in the morning. So I'm not a list person, because I'll write a list and then I will lose the list. I'll forget the list. I just can't write a list, but I have it down now where Monday through Friday, the kids get off the bus at anywhere from 3:30 to 3:50. As soon as they get off the bus, they have an hour to hang out. So then while they're hanging out, I will make their lunches. I make Rob's lunch. I will So I'll make everyone's lunches, and then in that hour time frame, I try to prep dinner. So I always take out something in the morning. So like by the time dinner comes around, it's already like defrosted, and then like I'll just cut up some cauliflower or some Brussels sprouts and just like throw it in the oven and cook whatever meat I'm cooking. And then by 5 o'clock, that's when the kids need to do homework. So they do their homework and I help them with their homework. And then usually by like 6-ish, we're eating dinner, and then, the kids can either shower or just go do whatever they need to do. Is that's like my typical like Monday through Friday routine. The weekends are kind of like a free-for-all because like I'm off on the weekends, but I typically like to clean on Saturdays. And I mean, I don't know about anybody else or about like you, but when I clean, I need to clean before I shower, because taking a shower and then cleaning to me is like pointless. I will like get up Saturday morning and then spend like 2-3 hours cleaning. And then, like I said the other day, I always have to do laundry every single week because the kids have to wear uniforms to school, which I'm looking forward to the summertime, not like having to worry about that. But like, I just like, I'm kind of like OCD a little bit. Like I have everything like set in a certain way. And like, there were a few instances this past few weeks where like me and Rob switched roles, where he was the one that was home and I was the one staying out till like 6 or 7 working. And it just like threw me off because like, I'm like better at being a homemaker than making the money, I guess. I liked being able to like prep the meals and, do their lunch. And I'd come home at like 7 o'clock and I'm like, so is dinner ready? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. Like, I'd have that done already, but like we said, we're not going to be gatekeepers, and Rob does his thing his way and I do mine my way, but I like being home better. I don't know.
Yeah, so do I. I've been contemplating getting a job, but I feel like it's not worth it going part-time, and I would have to go full-time if I were to get a job, because I feel like any other way it really wouldn't be worth it. And I'm just like thinking how I would work it out with my schedule right now. And I just don't think that I get enough help from Martin for that to happen. So I think
I agree.
I'm gonna just hold off on it until he decides to help me a little bit more, because sometimes it's hard, like being a stay-at-home mom and having your husband like being the main breadwinner. Like, so it's really easy to feel like a single mom at times, and like all the responsibility falls on me. So it's like how I manage my time is how I manage it. And like when he's home, it kind of like messes up my flow, like you said, you have a routine. Yeah. I guess I have a routine too. It's not always exactly the same because I've got, different things going on different days. So the routine isn't always looking the same. It is a lot more flexible now in summer because, homeschooling is over with and we don't need to, block out that time for schooling, which, gives me a lot more free time. But
yeah,
I feel like having a toddler and an almost 5-year-old, and a dog and a cat and now a lizard, it's like when there's chores to be done all day long. I mean, the boys just make a complete disaster. Like tonight, like my son literally turned my other son's room like completely upside down. And it's like there goes half an hour cleaning that when I probably could have used that to, do something else. But you just gotta, I feel like most of my time is used cleaning up messes. But
I agree.
I think
myself on like a video like in what are they, like fast motion, whatever you want to call it, like speed it up, because I probably look like a freaking lunatic the way that I like am going all around, like with the animals and stuff too. Like Rob convinced me to get a cat last summer and I hated cats. I wanted nothing to do with a cat. And now this cat is like my third child. He only wants to cuddle with me. He doesn't want to see anyone else. He like talks to me and stuff. But somehow I ended up being the one taking responsibility for cleaning his litter box, feeding him, and like Lacey feeds him at night, but I do the rest. I'm like, I didn't even want this cat, I was happy with my fish, that's about it,
Same thing with Julie's dragon. She went on vacation this week to my in-laws' house, and so we got to take care of the dragon for the week. And we ordered this tank that was bigger than the one she had, but we needed to exchange it at the store. So I went and did that today. I exchanged it and got the bigger tank or whatever. But now we realize that the bigger tank doesn't fit on her dresser anymore. So now the thing ended up in my room because my furniture is bigger. So now the dragon's in my room, which is what I didn't want from the start. But until we get like a stand for it, that's the only place where it'll fit. So now I've got a dragon in my room sleeping with us.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Speaking of like, oh, go ahead.
No. I was just going to tell you what my routine looks like. My routine is like, I try to get up in the morning before the kids. I try really hard. I mean, I would probably say like 50% of the time I don't get up before the kids just because I'm tired or I don't hear the alarm or whatever, but I try to wake up at least an hour before the kids so I could take a shower and get myself ready before they wake up. It's kind of like a little bit of like, okay, I don't have to like wake up and immediately start being mom, I can just wake up and just tend to myself a little bit. But I find that days that I do that and like get ready and stuff, it really motivates me to continue to keep on working. Because if I don't get that couple minutes or an hour in the morning for myself, it's like, I feel like the whole day drags and like, I just can't wait for the day to be over with. And like, I'm counting the minutes to nap time.
I don't know how you get up so early. Cause like right now I get up at like Monday through Friday, I get up at 8:00, but on the weekends, I am not getting up early. Like this past Memorial Day weekend, me and Rob were both off. We both slept in until like 11:30 every single day. And the kids are like old enough now where like they can go feed themselves breakfast by themselves and entertain themselves. And I don't need to be like there. So it was nice to be able to sleep in. But another thing that I've been doing to save some time is, not only do I work for Instacart, but I also order for Instacart for myself. So like today I got my week's groceries on Instacart. And my biggest thing that I can't stand, I cannot go food shopping with the kids. It drives me crazy. I always end up forgetting something. Even if I bring a list, I forget something. And they just like, by the time I leave, I'm so aggravated. They act like animals in the store. They sit on the food and I'm like, I can't deal with this. So I've been ordering from Instacart and I'd rather pay the extra like $10 or whatever it is to get it delivered to my house and have somebody else shop for me. And I just, open my door and the food is there. So I've been doing that. I like once a week, I order from Instacart. And it's just so nice. So that saves me like probably an hour to 2 hours every single week, not having to go food shopping.
That's awesome. I remember when I first heard about Instacart, Jacob was only a week old and I was at Aldi's shopping and I had him in the little baby carrier.
Yeah.
And there was this lady and she's like, how old is your baby? And I'm like, a week old. She's like, you shouldn't have him out right now. You should be home. She's like, I work for Instacart. Here's my card. She's like, next time you should order and let me do your shopping for you. And I was like, oh, interesting. I like this idea, but I'm like, I don't know. I can't let go of the reins. I can't let somebody else shop for me. I feel like they're not going to get the stuff exactly the way I wanted. And then like, I don't know. I guess I'm like a little bit of a control freak in certain areas.
Well, I thought that too, but you can chat with the shopper as they're shopping And
Oh.
like, I always pick like backup replacements for all of my items. So like if they don't have the one thing that I want, they have the second choice, you know? And like for instance, I wanted a pound of boar's head bologna for the kids for lunch, and all I could find online was low sodium bologna, and I was shopping at ShopRite, which I thought was weird. So when she started the order, I just texted her and I was like, I want regular bologna, not low sodium bologna. And she was like, okay, no problem. So, you know, she fixed it for me. And like the one I ordered like Brussels sprouts, like the fresh Brussels sprouts, and she couldn't find them, or they didn't have like the exact brand I wanted. So she like picked frozen ones. And I told her, I was like, I really don't want frozen ones. I want fresh ones. So she like picked a different brand. So I feel like you do give up a little bit of control. Like you're not actually in the store shopping, but you can talk to them like during the shopping. So at least you know what you're
cool. Maybe I'll try it one
What'd you
day.
say?
My mom's been using it a lot because she broke her foot. She can't drive right now.
Yeah.
And when my dad's working and stuff and she needs something, that's what she does. She's been shopping at like with the, I don't know if specifically Instacart, but like I think with Target. And I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I go to Target all the time. It's Instacart.
Yeah. So another thing that I do is I try to like kill two birds with one stone if I can. So like if I want to take a walk, for example, like for exercise or whatever, I'll take it as an opportunity to also get the kids out of the house and the dog, you know, and we'll all like, that'll be like their outside time for like an hour, but I still get to like exercise and take the dog for a walk. So it's like three things off my list at once, you know? Or
Yeah.
I don't know what else. I can pop a load of laundry in and start dinner and help the kids with their homework or whatever all at the same time, you know? So
I really hate doing laundry. That's like the one task that I feel like takes a million years to complete. And like every time I go put in laundry, I'm like, oh, the washing machine's got to be done by now. I'm like, it's still not freaking done. Like, what the hell? And then I either end up forgetting that it's there, and then the next morning I'm like, oh crap, I left the clothes in the washing machine. So now I got to run the washing machine again because they're like, my clothes have been sitting there. And then when I put it in the dryer, like my dryer and washing machine are so old, it takes like probably 2 to 3 hours just to dry one load. So by the time it's like done, I'm exhausted. I forget about it. It's downstairs. I don't even want to go downstairs to go and get it, bring it up the stairs. And that's the one task that I gotta be better with like the time management, because I just like really hate doing it. But at least though, I don't have to go to the laundromat anymore, because before we had this house, me and Rob rented, and we didn't have a washer and dryer in the house, and we had to go to the laundromat, and that was even worse.
I was just gonna say that I'm grateful to have a washer dryer. It was one of the things that was a must-have when I moved into a new house. Because I know that pain of bringing all that laundry to the laundromat with 3 kids and having to be there for 3 hours while everything washed and dried, and then folding everything and then putting it all away later. The only plus side to that, I would say, is that everything gets done at once and you don't have to worry about it again until next week, you know? But having 3 kids, a dog, and, you know, 2 adults in the house, and at the time I had 2 dogs, the laundry piles up really quick, especially like when my babies were smaller and newborns and a 2-year-old, like that was really rough. So when I here, it was like, like heaven sent. But I try not to let the laundry pile up. I try to wash at least 1 load every day. Sometimes I can skip a day and just because there's not enough laundry piled up yet, and then I'll just do a large load the next day, which is good. Sometimes like on sheet day or something, like when I wash the sheets, or like if one of my kid pees the bed, or something like that, or somebody has an accident and I need to like clean all the towels because they spilled water all over everything. I don't know. Those days they pile up because then I have to do more than one load. And like you said, sometimes you just get sidetracked, you forget about it. But my mother-in-law's been coming over more frequently now that it's summertime. And she is a clean freak. So she will do all my laundry for me. She will clean my house for me. She will mop my floors every single day for me. She will cook me food and leave leftovers for the whole week in my fridge. She's like, you don't have to cook for 3 days here. Just eat leftovers. She'll put it in the freezer for me. So I just have to defrost it. I'm like, ooh, okay, thank you. So it's nice to have that help.
That's nice. I wish I had that.
Sometimes I like to like set a timer for certain tasks. So like I don't want to spend too much time doing them. Like tasks like if I want to like declutter something, for example, like a drawer or something, I'll set a timer for like half an hour. And then once that half an hour is up, like that's it. Like I won't start another project, you know, because I won't have the time to do it. I'll just finish up whatever I'm doing and then that's it. Because I feel like I can get lost doing that, decluttering drawers and cabinets and shelves or whatnot.
I just did that with Nate's drawers. It probably took me like not that long, like an hour or so, because literally every single clothing item in his drawer does not fit him. So like, you know, we talked about it. You'll be getting 2 giant bags, like, I mean, stuffed, filled with everything you can think of for your kids.
Nick will be happy.
Some of the stuff still has tags on it.
It's awesome. That's how I feel. We just went shopping and already she's like, I don't know if I'm crazy about this dress. I thought I would like it better. And you better wear it. Like we just spent money on you and you picked out everything. You better wear that.
Lacey does that to me with food. Like the other day, she was like, I want hot Cheetos. And I was like, you don't like hot Cheetos? Like, why am I going to buy these? I want them. I love them. And I'm like, no, you don't. You're lying to me. So we opened the bag. She had like 2 Cheetos and then she hasn't touched them since. That and she made me buy her a bag of Takis too, which I knew she wouldn't eat. And I don't eat that crap. I don't want no flaming Cheeto, you know? So
yeah. That's weird. What is she like on a hot kick?
I don't know. So now I don't even know what the hell to do with it. It like pains me to throw it out because it was like a $3-4 bag of Cheetos, you know?
Yeah. Well, you could like share responsibilities with other people if you can. Like my daughter's old enough to be able to help. So, and my son too. He's about to be 5. He's old enough to help. So what I do is I'll be like, all right, guys, turn the TV off, put on some music, like turn on the lights, like, hey, it's time to clean. Come on, like clean up. And I'll give them each a task. Like Julie clean the table, Nikki pick up the toys, and Jacob, I'll make him like throw the dirty laundry in the laundry basket or whatever. And they all help. And we can literally get the room clean in 10 minutes as instead of like me doing it all and, you know, taking double the time because it's just me. I give them all like a paper towel and a spray bottle and I'm like, go spray the furniture, go clean up. They love doing that. They love spraying and wiping. They spray and wipe the whole house.
See, that's where my like controlling issues come into play because I like would love to do that but I just like can't. They don't clean the way I clean and I just feel like I'm gonna have to do it over again. But they do get some responsibilities. Like Nate has to clean the fish tank because I don't know why, something going on with my fish tank. The water, like the sides of the tank keep turning brown like every week or whatever. I don't know what the hell is wrong with it. So I make him clean it. And then, like I said, Lacey feeds the cat. And I try to get them to do the litter box. Like, I feel like you can do the litter box, you know, but they don't want to. It's disgusting. I'm like, you think I want to do that? You know, like I cleaned up your shit when you were a baby. So like you wanted this cat. So it's hard for me to let go and give them more responsibility like that. But maybe when they get older, it's like I told Nate the other day that he needed to clean his room, and he started freaking out, crying, like balling his fists. He was angry. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, I tell you this all the time. Pick up after yourself, don't make a mess, and you don't have to clean it. But they just have to make a mess and just leave crap wherever. It drives me crazy. I can't stand it. I try to like turn a blind eye to it, but after a while it like gets to me and I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore. And then I'm like in a rage because I'm just like, this gotta be clean. It's gotta be clean now. They're like, I have to do it now. I'm like, you have to do it now.
Yeah, there's like a rule of thumb, like if it takes you less than 2 or 3 minutes to put something away or do certain tasks, just do it, because it really isn't going to make or break your day, but it'll save you so much time. Have you ever heard of block scheduling?
Like you do like the same thing at a certain time every day?
Not necessarily the same thing, but like you break up your day into like 2 hour or 3 hour blocks. And then you write down things that you would like to get done in that 3 hour span. Let's say you have 3 hours, right? 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, 3 hours at night. And then you want to write down all the things that you want to get done during that time. And you like try to get as much done off that list in that short amount of time, kind of like a speed type of thing. So like, okay, you want to get all 3 kids' bedrooms done and the bathroom done in an hour, like let's say, just for example. So you try to like do it as fast as you can. So that way, like, when I feel like sometimes when you give yourself a time limit, like you tend to do things a little bit quicker.
I go back to the retail thing because I was always on a time crunch with everything that I had. I guess I should try to relay that into my life now, but it's easier to be more lax because there's nobody that's going to hold you accountable except for yourself, you know? So I don't know, there's like not enough hours in the day to do everything that I got jumbling around in my head. Not like I will do like the most craziest things out of nowhere. Like I'll go tear apart every single closet in this house just because like I can't take it anymore and they're all shoved with crap. Or I'll go in the garage and start tearing apart the garage. And like Rob's like, what the hell are you doing? Just relax. And I'm like, I can't. It drives me. I'm like the type of person where I need to throw out everything. I keep nothing. And the kids are the opposite. They keep everything. They're like little mini hoarders. I'm like, I don't know where you get this from. It's not for me. I don't do this. And I'm like, I tell them all the time, if your shit is on my floor and you don't pick it up, guess where it's going? Right in the garbage. Because to me, garbage if it's on the floor, right?
Yeah, I don't really like to save too much stuff anyway. Martin is like that. He's like, save every single empty box to every single thing. And I'm like, why? Then we have a closet full of empty boxes. You never know when we might need it to return it or sell it. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think staying motivated is a good way to stay on track with your time, because if it's very easily to be distracted and then to get unmotivated, and then that just like prolongs everything, and you become a procrastinator, which doesn't help with anything. I think like staying home and having to have things done by like a certain time and making sure like the house is clean and all that stuff has helped me definitely manage my time better.
And also, you want to do the stuff that you hate doing first while you're motivated. So that way you get it out of the way, you knock it out of the way, and then, you can worry about the little things later.
Yeah, see, I feel like my OCD is like what motivates me to do certain things, like especially cleaning and stuff, because like I'll wake up on a Saturday morning and I'll just look around and like to me it's dirty, but to other people it's clean. But like, if I'm like sweeping the floors and stuff, like I have hardwood floors throughout my whole house and they get dirty so quickly.
Yep.
And so, if I'm sweeping the floor, I'm like, I just swept yesterday, like what the hell? And then like I'll mop. It's just like, if I just get up and do it, then when it's done, everybody will reap the benefits and the house will smell beautiful like fabuloso and everybody will be happy.
Yep. And you know how you said you hate doing laundry? Well, my hated task is doing the dishes because they never end. Like they never end. I can finish cleaning a whole sink of dishes or loading a dishwasher and I turn around and there's another one to put in or another, I find another dish. Like literally, it's like never ending. That's I hate task. But it's something that obviously has to get done. You can't not do dishes and you won't have anything to eat from.
I feel the same way too, like we don't have a dishwasher here. I'm the dishwasher, and a lot of times Rob will be like, oh, just leave it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to just leave it because then that means tomorrow morning I still have to clean it. Let me just do it now. So
and then all like crusted over by the morning.
Yeah. And then like, he makes breakfast every morning. So, that's like 3 pans plus the dish, plus the bowl he cooks his eggs in. And I wake up and I'm like, see, if I had left the dishes from last night, then it would literally be like a full sink of dishes. And I guess, again, this is me being OCD, but like, I can't leave the house with a sink full of dishes. So that's like part of my morning routine is I do the dishes before I leave.
Yeah, I've been trying to stay on top of them. It's been working out pretty good. But when I do have to sit and do a sink load of dishes, to kind of distract myself from the task I'm actually doing because I hate it so much, I will like put my phone nearby and usually I'll listen to a podcast or, if sometimes I'll listen to music, but the podcast keeps me more like engaged. So I don't have to like focus on what I'm doing. So that's what I like. Maybe like a devotional podcast or like something entertaining, and that takes about 15 minutes at least, so I can listen to it while I do that.
See, I love blasting music when I'm cleaning and the kids hate it because I have, stereo in the living room and I blast it and they're like, it's so loud. And I'm like, I don't care. This is like what I need to get through this. And you're just gonna have to deal with it. Go in your room, close the door, whatever you need to do. But like, I love music, so I don't know why they just like don't like it. But me and Rob, like, every now and then we like to get a little drunk and play the music, and they're just like, I can't sleep. I'm like, get over it. Like, you're such a buzzkill.
Yeah, I'm not huge, like I'm not a huge music buff, but I do like to listen to music just to, get motivated to clean and stuff like that. I do find that being on my phone, if I like sit down to look at my phone, it's like easy to get distracted for like a good hour and like realize, oh my God, I've just been scrolling through freaking Instagram and Facebook for an hour. Like it's crazy. My phone tells me how many hours at the end of the week I spent on my phone. And it's really alarming. Like, you spent 5 hours a day on your phones this week. I'm like, oh my God, 5 hours. I mean, it's not just, like watching videos and looking at whatever, like everything I do is on my phone. You know what I mean? But it's like scary to think like 5 hours of my day just went to my phone. So putting the phone down and so not looking at your phone as often during the day definitely saves time. And also, paying the bills, like I can't like sit down in front of a bunch of paperwork and like go through it and pay the bills like I like used to see my parents do. Like I just can't do that. So what I do is like as soon as the money goes into the bank, I look at the bills I got to pay on my phone. I have an app for everything. I'm like, pay bill, pay bill, pay bill. There you go. All the bills are paid all in one shot. I don't have to think about it for the next month. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, like the day and the age of like sitting and balancing your checkbook is so over. think anybody has a checkbook anymore. I think my dad still does, but like I have everything.
I have a book of checks, but do I sit there and write down everything I spend? No, I have an app that I look at.
I don't even need to like write it down. Like you like I look at my bank account every single day. I know how much money's in there and how much I spent, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't need to balance it out. And but like I have everything, like I have a lot of things like auto pay. So it just automatically comes out on those specific days.
I hate that because I will everything seems to always come out on the same day, and if you're short even like $3 or whatever, your bank, your whatever, your check bounces, and then they charge you for every time that happens. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten charged for that. So like I hate that. I don't do that. I'm like, when I have the money, I pay you. If I don't pay you.
I do with like certain things like car insurance. Rob has a life insurance policy. My cell phone, because I saved money doing that. But like I have it situated where certain things get paid every single week. So it's always on a weekly rotation of what bills get paid, and you know, so but sometimes like, you know, the mortgage is due on the 1st, but I know they give you like a 15-day grace period to pay it. So sometimes, you know, I take that extra week to pay it. You know, why not? I'm not
the mortgage is the only thing that I make sure is paid before the 1st, because if I don't, I might forget about it, because I'm like, that's what I always do. So if I waited, be like, oh, I think I paid it, then I really didn't. So that's like the one thing I don't like. I don't care if my cell phone turns off. I'd be like, okay, whatever. I don't have a cell phone for a few hours, but you know, your house, that's the one thing I'm like, I can't not pay for my house.
See, like I'm the one that pays the bills, so obviously I'm the one that pays the bills too. So like I know exactly how much everything is, exactly when it's due, when it's gonna come out. So I don't really finagle much. Like we had the school tuition on a automatic payment that was like because we had to. But now we don't have to pay the school for the next 2 months, so that's an awesome thing, can save some money, hopefully.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a pretty big expense.
Another thing that I like to do to save some time is like, okay, the kids are constantly like bringing their toys down from their rooms from upstairs into the living room, and you know, you end up with a whole bunch of freaking toys down here, and they're not going to bring them back up. So what I do is I alternate baskets. So like I will have an empty basket down here, and then when it fills up, I'll bring like the whole entire basket at the end of the week up to their room and make them put all the toys away at once, and then bring the empty basket back down. So that way it's not like wasting time and energy and breath telling them to go put their toys away every single day when you know it's not going to happen.
So like, again, there goes my OCD, because like the living room and the kitchen, if there's anything that doesn't belong there and it's on the floor, I'm like, Nathan, Lacey, get in here now.
Well, you also live on a one level, like you live on a one level house, where I live in 2 levels. So it's like I have to go upstairs every single time and call them. That's not happening every time. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm just a little lazy, but I don't know. I just don't want to do that. So, and then I also have to accept the fact that I have little kids and they have toys, and I'm the one who buys them the toys. So I need to live with it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's like picking your battle type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that also my mother-in-law forgot kind of what it's like to have little kids, because she's the same way you are. She cannot stand to see one toy on the floor. They play with a toy and they'll like get up, and she immediately has to clean it up. And like we had a birthday party last weekend, and she got rid of the toy box that I have here to collect all their toys, and she moved it down into the basement of all places. Like it's never coming back up, I guarantee you, unless Martin brings it up. And so now I don't have my basket. All my toys are collecting on my fireplace like stone, and I'm like, why did you do that? Like, I have kids, get over it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of like that too, but like their rooms, like a little less OCD with, because like it's just, like I said, I try to turn a blind eye to it until I eventually can't take it anymore, and then I make them spend the entire day cleaning their room.
See, they won't have the attention span for that to spend the whole day cleaning. They'll have like maybe 20, I got maybe 20 minutes of their time. So I need to use it really wisely. So I'll be like, all right, play in your room until I get to your room. Cause like usually we clean all the rooms on the same day. But I've been trying to keep up with it. So like every morning or every night before they go to bed, I'll make them put all their toys away. And then in the morning, we'll vacuum and make the beds. So like that way it's like a little bit throughout the day. Nikki's starting to like his Xbox more than his toys. So he's not really messing too much up. But Jacob, he makes a complete disaster.
You know, Nate's got like, when you come here, you'll see he's got like an entire arsenal of Nerf guns in his room. So
love that. All day long, Jacob's like, gun, shoot, I shoot, and he's trying to shoot me, but he can't, he's not strong enough to pull back the little lever. So I have to do it for today. But I would say like my last tip would be like when you're cooking, try to make extras, like enough for 2 days worth. So that way it kind of lightens your load a little bit with the cooking. Cause I feel like sometimes you can spend all day cooking or all like evening cooking and then cleaning up the dishes afterwards and serving the food. And it's like, it can become like a 3-hour process and there goes your whole night. So if one day or like 3 days out of the week, you cook extra, then that's 3 days you don't have to cook. You're only cooking half the week. It saves you on cleaning dishes, it saves you on cooking, it saves you on everything.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode on time management. And obviously we only get 24 hours in a day, so there's not many hours to do everything that you might have in mind or that you need to do. So making sure you prioritize, the most important things and the things that can be held off on for a little bit, and utilizing your lists if you're a list person, or basically whatever you can do to help you get through your day to manage your time better.
See you all again Friday.
See you Friday, and don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications at candid.motherhood on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for listening to Candid Motherhood Podcast.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please subscribe, share, and rate our podcast.
If you have any ideas for future episodes or want to learn more about us, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at candid.motherhood and on Twitter at @cmotherhood.
We appreciate your love and support. Until next time, thank you, Candid Mamas.